Yes, sir.
Oh,
Okay. That sound better.
Is this on?
That sound better. That sound better. That sounds better. That sounds better. That sounds better.
We got a full table this morning, y'all. We got a full table.
Yes, sir.
This is the first time we've actually done this, like
4. Yeah.
a full table like this. Normally it's just one guest or two guests.
Or 3.
Or or three.
Yeah. This is the first time with 4.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
this is gonna be a fun conversation. We got a wide age demographic here at the table. So before we get started, let's go around the table. Everyone, introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are, what you do for a living, where you from, that kind of thing.
Start right here. Work my way around.
yeah, I'm Troy. I do security for children's, and I also work the doors at many clubs. People have probably seen me numerous times. Shout out to my man Vic for inviting me up here. So, that's it. Let's get to it.
My name is Lewis Johnson. I retired UPS. I said it with pride.
Yes, sir.
28 years of UPS. I worked in the school system. I worked in the insurance business for 15 years. I'm a trustee of my church, so I'm active. I did Boy Scouts for 15 years, 3 generational boys, so I'm blessed.
My name is Stevie Floyd. Lewis talked me into retiring. I retired, last year, I believe, 38 years federal government service, 21 years in the military. I refereed basketball, still do, but not as much. Just enjoying retirement life and, doing my thing.
I can use this one right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
should be able to. Yeah.
I'm Tristan. Right now I'm working like 3 jobs: BJ's, Ruth Chris, FedEx. I'm an upcoming photographer, videographer, content creator. Real just a social media guru right now. Honestly, I'm in school at Southern University, Rising Junior, major
Yes,
in mass
sir.
communications. So yeah, that's me right now. For sure. For sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have a nice topic that we want to get to you guys, but I just got a couple questions about what y'all have done in y'all lives and y'all occupations. So with you, Troy, you say you a security at different clubs?
Well, no, I do security at children.
Oh, children's. Okay.
I collect money at the club. That's kind of how I met Vic.
Okay.
Yeah, I collect the money, and I'm affiliated with. You got me?
Yeah.
I know a few people in this. I ain't gonna say I know a few. I know a lot of people in these bands, so it's kind of like that's how it all started. So.
Oh, okay. What specific clubs and how did you get into doing that?
I probably worked at every club in DC. That's in Maryland. That's how to go.
I know. I definitely feel like I handed you a
You
couple
probably
dubs in
have
my
handed
day.
me 20 or 30.
I got several dubs.
40.
Vinny sometimes. Let me see your ticket. I ain't gonna stay.
Actually, it's a crazy story. Like all my close friends know me. I'm pretty no nonsense, straight to the point.
Yeah.
And
You got
my
to.
man- Yeah, like my man Reggie Promo, one of the best promoters
Yeah.
in the city.
That's
he
a
used to
fact.
he used to have these parties over in Temple Hills, like these little house parties.
Yep.
And my man was like, they was like, they need somebody to take the money. And boom,
Yeah.
they picked me, and they went from taking the money at Reggie's parties to me. Reggie like, oh, I got somebody that's going to do this. Now I've done the door for artists at Bliss. I've done the door for every band that's played in the city. So, I mean, it's cool. It has its ups and downs because,
Yeah, I was just gonna ask
people hate you because, you got to
stand on that.
stand on getting the money and everything. But it's a tough job, though, man. It's a tough job because everybody takes everything personal. And they don't understand, like, this is a business. Like, listen, you could be my cousin, but if they tell me you got to pay $40,
Yeah.
you got to pay $40. I'm sorry that you upset at me, but
Yeah.
listen, I gotta do my job. And believe it or not, it be more so males that be more mad than females. But
Oh, yeah.
like,
Oh,
you
no,
be
no,
like,
no.
"Damn,
I
bro,
feel
you
it."
can't fuck. Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
No, you good.
Okay,
You good.
cool. I ain't
Already started.
I stop myself, but it's like, yeah, like dudes be like, damn, bro, you can't fuck with me tonight. I only got this, that, and the third, but come on, man. Then when I tell you, you got it, and you pull out a
Snack.
$4,000-$5,000, and I'm sitting here debating with you over $40. Come on, man, like it's.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I understand that.
it makes you want to. Yeah, it makes you want to be like, man, stop fucking playing with me, man. But
Yeah.
you gotta keep it respectful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, my only thing is when they say something on the fly and then y'all it say $20 on the fly.
For sure.
And 40. I'm like, what?
But I mean, sometimes you gotta read the fine print. It's
No.
They say 20 on a flyer.
No, I get that before a certain time and all that, but sometimes it be all night. Hey Vic, I know you experienced that. It be sometimes they $20 all night, and you get there something at 40. 40.
I try to sympathize with people though. Vic, I'm much no nonsense as I am. I'm still pretty laid back, so I kind of feel like, all right, man. You know what? He'll tell you he'll get there. It's a text.
Mm-hmm.
Vic will get there. I only ask him for what. Come on, man. You good? I done looked out. So I mean,
It's a give or take.
Yeah.
They got to.
But some of the promotions do be a little
Yeah, the promotion
sketchy.
is.
I went to Aqua once. I ain't never go back. I ain't never go back. I'm gonna just leave it there. I ain't gonna get into all that. Yeah.
And then with the promotion, it makes me the bad guy because I'm like, bro, hold on. I didn't know they. You know what I'm saying? I only collect the money at the door. I don't know why the table's messed up.
Right.
I don't know why. I don't know none of this. I don't know about nothing that goes on inside of there.
Yeah.
I just collect the money. But they said that we gonna get a free shot. But I don't know nothing
Yeah,
about it.
I don't got nothing to do with
somebody
it.
in the club. And because a lot of people know me, if they can't figure something out, I get bombarded with questions. I'm like, God damn. Yeah.
Oh no.
All right, that's sort of the cons, but like, what's probably the biggest pro in doing that?
Biggest pro?
Yeah.
You get to walk in anywhere in the city. Like I could say somebody at Bliss tonight, walk up, dap them up, walk right in the club. So that's probably the biggest pro.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Man, I done.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I done been on the stage with Drake, Finesse 2 times, all of them. Then when the City Girls just came, I don't get to really talk to them, but
Yeah.
like, I don't got to worry about standing in the crowd. I can see them when really came a couple of. I'm there. Like once I'm done at the door, I walk right on the stage and I can,
That's sweet.
So,
That's a hell of a perk.
yeah, I mean that's the best perk of it
Yeah,
all, but it's still way more cons than pros.
Yeah, no, I get that.
One pro,
Yeah.
might outweigh all that other bullshit.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what's up.
No, should be being able to network with
Yeah,
that's
all them
What-
people. Yeah,
all them people too.
especially if you got something going on. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Uncle Lou, man,
It's retirement life.
Yeah, retirement life.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Now, one thing I want to get out of my chest before I ask you any questions. I love you, man. You have been one of the best things to happen in our family, and I want to give you your flowers. That's why you're on the show. That's why all of y'all are on the show, to give y'all flowers. You know what I'm saying? You've been really an inspiration in my life and a light into my life, and I appreciate you. Real talk. I wanted to get that off my chest.
Can I ring the bell on that?
Yeah. I wanted to, I wanted to get that off my chest. Leading up to this podcast, I learned a lot about you that I didn't know. I didn't know you was a substitute teacher. I didn't know you actually coached wrestling and football. I didn't know you was a Boy Scout. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you a jack of all trades, and I just want to ask you, far as everything that you've been a part of, what's the more fulfilled you've been in, or they equally fulfilled? You feel fulfilled in?
I'm going to say the Boy Scouts. and I'm gonna say
Mm.
because of the fact of working with young black men, 3 generations of boys, and up to today, I'm still involved or talk to some of those boys. I see them
Speaking to the
And-
mic a little bit.
and become part of their lives.
Yes, sir.
And matter of fact, I just saw one of the mothers of the boys. They said, "You remember me?" I said, "Yeah, I remember you." You know, and the things that we accomplished. We were in a city, and it started from a church, Barrack Amy Zion Church. And when we started, it was basically me trying to get my boys involved and boys in the community. I didn't know it would turn out to be. When my boys stopped, I was still doing it. Then LJ come along, and my youngest son and started doing it, and the lives that we changed by doing it. My Boy Scouts were a group of boys who were, of course, raised by black men. And we are still, these black men are still friends today. We go out and have lunch and stuff of this sort. We interact like the boys still do, because now the youngins are on Facebook and they keep it attracted in North Carolina, and they, you know, because of this platform like this, they'll still be able to communicate. And we had a Boy Scout troop that, because we were black, we had to do things different. Because who wants to wear that uniform? Being honest, who wants to wear that uniform? The uniform's a turn off. But when we did, we made things urban to us because, you know, we couldn't do things like the white troops.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't get your attention sitting around tying a knot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we had different people had different gifts. Mr. Ed Jones was a poetry. He spoke poetry and wrote poetry. So we taught our boys how to write poetry. And every 7 syllables, there's a rhyme. So you had, and when we taught them that, they became writers. I've got some very good writers. I became a writer doing poetry by teaching the boys. We went around to different places doing the books of the Bible. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. And then we Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, everybody come sing along. And then we, and after that, then after that, we
Vacation Bible
we
School.
taught them raps. So Mr. Jones wrote a rap. I'll let God be praised for all that is, both heaven and earth, the gifts of his. And the boys used to clap. And then we had bongos and all that, and they got into it. So for 2 years, we were on concert, and people were trying to get us. We've been all over the city, different churches and different things. And so I was down to become a booking. But then after that, they said, "Oh, we get tired of doing the same thing." I said, "Well, write something." So they started to write. And that, you know, we had one guy that stuttered extremely bad. And by us being, trying to do things to better our own self. This wasn't about uplifting the Boy Scouts of America.
Yeah.
It was trying to uplift our black men to do what they needed to do, go where they needed to go.
Right.
So we had banquets, and when the banquet come, you had to stand in front of the people. You had to speak. We gave everybody. Then we gave everybody awards.
Public speaking.
We
Yeah.
made them public speakers. And one guy, he stuttered so bad, I just saw him, and that was the mother's. And he said, "Mr. Johnson, I thank you. He works for the federal government now, and he don't stutter no more.
Yeah.
Wow.
He don't stutter no more."
It's crazy.
Wow.
He came in from the Boy Scouts because we forced him to be out. We forced you to be out front. One day I was because we work in the school system, gave me a whole lot of insight on how to work with kids and teens and youth. But one day I came to the meeting and I said, "What am I gonna do today?" And I saw that old song, "What's My Name?" with Malcolm X, and you know, "What's my name?" So I had 25 boys, and I put them on front of the altar, and I said, "What's your name?" He went, "What's your name?" We did it for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And by the time when they came to their name, they stood up. "My name is," and they said it long and strong, and I could see the confidence it brought in them. And you have to encourage people and our youth and our kids to do these things. You have to push them where they don't want to go. You know, so that's one of the things that helped me to help them. It became a blessing in my life, because now I see that blessing fold over and over. So one of my kids, and I can't call them kids, one of my young men that I used to master to, and he said, "Mr. Johnson, why didn't you tell me about this thing called life?" He's got kids, he got a wife, he's got stress in his life. I said, "Man, I was just trying to get you get a rubber to keep you covered." You know, I would try to, you know, to tell you about that. I'm trying to get you here.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what life is about. Is one touch one. I heard someone say, if you win, I win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you win, I win. Every time I see, you know, and your story is amazing because I've got a son that's 31, 32. I have one that lost to the street, and I have another son, I think he's 37, 38. And through that journey, you know, you never get it right as a parent. You'll be able to attest to that. You know, they'll come back 10 years later and say, well, but then I said, well, how bad was your life? Sometimes we have to take credit for our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we take credit for the good things, take credit for your life.
Mm-hmm.
Your parents ain't always going to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
We just can lead you and guide you to the water. I saw something today about natural degree. Say you take the elephant to the water, but you can't make that
When
elephant
you drink.
So that's it. School system was totally different. I coach football, wrestling, track. My main sport is wrestling.
I know that.
Yeah.
I know that.
I wrestled in junior college and won a year to UNC. I was down there the year with Michael Jordan, Dudley Bradley, Phil Ford in a pickup game, just sitting there watching to believe I was there. and got a chance to do some amazing things just to see these people. You know, and then you go to major universities or any university, just try to get to a university. You come to find out if you can make it or not.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it. Tuition too high, but you never lose anything by going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And you know,
Yeah.
I mean, just going somewhere,
Yeah.
it helped me come back.
Yeah.
Because now I'm at a school that taught me, that I went to. So now I'm in the teacher's line with teachers that have taught me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You know, I'm drinking now with Mr. Maples, you know, who had a cussing problem, you know, but he changed my life because he told me that I needed to get out of the school system. Because he said in 10 years from now, the school system will be whack. And I thank God that man told me what he told me because we know what it's like now, you know, and,
Yeah.
you know.
I got a little taste of that as a custodian at the school. I'm not going to speak too much on it because I still work there. But
Okay.
you know, you see a little bit.
You listen.
Yeah, I worked in DC. I did security in DC public schools. And on the inside, it's rough.
See, it's amazing to me how people don't understand. For 180 days out of the year, you don't see your kids until about 4 hours of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Most times, someone else is raising them.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, you think you know your kid for that period of time. You come running to school. My child, you don't know your child from the time that he leaves your house till he gets back to your house. In 4 hours, he's yes ma'am, no sir. But those other times, he's a cussing sailor. You know, you don't know him.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be careful all the time saying you know who he is. Oh no, my sons now they grown men. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy how it went from back in the day, your parents would believe everything the teacher said, to now, like you said, they ready to fight the teacher.
Yeah.
Right. My grandmother, if the teacher said I was about to
Push the
blow
mic closer.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, no, you good.
If the teacher told my grandmother I was gonna blow the school up, she gonna believe it. Because guess what she would say? You know they different.
Yeah.
They ain't no grown up gonna lie on you. That was my grandmother's thing in school. I don't care if it didn't even sound like me. He was flipping down the hallway. He was cussing. Why you acting up at school? I didn't do none of this. Yes, you did, because the teacher said you did it. From that to, nah, fuck that. I did security, so it's been plenty of times I had to go in there and tell these parents, you got to watch your mouth because you can look at their kids and tell them they ain't shit. And I ain't gonna say that. I mean, I ain't gonna say they ain't shit, but you can tell that they doing the shit that they said they was doing, man. Like they in there hustling. They running the halls.
Yeah.
They ain't coming to school. All that. But then the parents would come up there and they'd be like, what you talking about? I drop them off every morning. I know my son. Man, look, your son got tattoos.
Oh, wow.
At 15 years old, you mean to tell me if I tell you your son skipped school for 3 days, you ain't gonna believe me? Because you signed up, man. Listen, it's a whole different society. I remember this one time, this 10th grader, we was talking, it was Friday. I was like, what's your weekend plans? Oh, I'm going out with my boyfriend house to spend the weekend.
Crazy.
See, he
Crazy.
And I said, your mother okay with that? Yeah. His mother is too. Me and his mother cool. Man, I wish I would tell my grandmother I was going over somebody's house when I was 14 years old to spend the whole weekend of the opposite sex. That wasn't my family member.
She thought I was at Travis' house.
It was Travis.
I mean, it was Travis.
Like
What's he doing at Travis' house?
the little girl said, "No, I'm gonna go pack my bag, and my mom is gonna drop me off at my boyfriend's house, and I'm staying the whole weekend." At 15, so it's different. Like you said, these newer parents are tough. Like they in the club with me, you know. So,
Kids having kids. That's what.
that's it. But I ain't gonna get on that subject.
we're not gonna talk about that.
I can talk about that for 2 hours.
Yeah,
but
we're not gonna talk about that.
Go ahead and say something.
Stevie Floyd. Yes, sir. Let me tell you something about Stevie. This one thing that I'm gonna say about Stevie. He make the best tea that you ever gonna taste in your life.
What kind of tea?
I'm telling you. He say it's Lipton, but I don't believe him. He put crack. He must have put crack cocaine or something in it. Because I'm telling you, when he come to a function and there's no tea, it's an issue.
Yes,
It's an issue. It's just like when Junebug go around the corner, ain't no 8-ball. Hey, what's going on, Steve? Hey, Steve, ain't no tea, Steve. Hey, man, I'm telling you, he make the best tea. I think this the first record that I ever liked. Yeah, so over 20 years, and you served your country.
What branch?
He served the country as well.
What you do?
Navy.
Yes, sir. How was your 20 years? Because I know for a fact that if I ever was in army and all that, my dad would have rolled over in his grave. He never wanted me to do that, and always wanted to hear black men experiences in the military. You know what I'm saying? I heard his experiences. You know what I'm saying? I heard bad experiences. I had good experiences. I just wanted to hear your experiences, the pros and cons of your 20 plus years that you spent serving our country.
Okay. Thanks for inviting me here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
glad
sir.
to be here.
Mhm.
My experience in the military, well, let me backtrack.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up here in D.C. And when I turned 15, my mom, we moved to a small town in South Carolina called Mullins, which is nothing. Okay, so imagine I'm from D.C., moved to a small town.
Mm-hmm.
So I did 4 years down there, and I always say that's my 4 years of purgatory. Because, I mean, I just felt like I wasn't part of, the place. Everybody grew up together, and I'm here from the outside, coming in. When you graduate from high school, I always say you have a couple choices. You can get a job, go in the military, or go to college. I wasn't college material at that time. I had to realize it. The jobs down there, working in tobacco field, back in the day, working in these factories, they can lay you off when they want to. That's not for me. Plus, not to mention the racism and all that. So, and mind you, this was in the 80s.
Yeah.
So the military was the logical choice for me. I mean, it was the only choice. So I joined the military, 17. My mom had to sign the paper. She didn't really want to, but I was like, look, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And I would say that was probably the best decision that I could have made. Had some good experiences, had some bad, but overall, it's still more beneficiary. It was more beneficiary for me because the benefits you get. I did 9 years active duty. Got to travel. Went to Germany, Stuttgart, Germany, Mannheim, Germany. Was here, Aberdeen Proving Ground up in Hartford County. If anybody know where that is.
Yep.
I got out of the military on active duty at Walter Reed. When it was on Georgia Avenue. It's gone now. It's in Bethesda
now.
Right. And then I went and joined the D.C. National Guard. Now, that D.C. Guard is a different animal. I was in a truck driving company. So, they were good. D.C. had a certain mentality. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain mentality. So as a leader in the military, I was a leader by that time. So it would be nothing for me to hey, I'm calling to see where my soldier at, and he's in jail.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I had to. It was a different dynamic, you know, or I would have to go pick up my soldier from a crack house, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, I had to get used to this different, because you know, that regular military don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? But the demographics, as we know, of DC has changed a lot. I got out in 2004, so the demographics have changed, and it was changing when I got out. So you would see different people, because remember, the DC Guard is made up of DC residents, basically.
Right.
So you're dealing with, you know, the people that, you know, that live in your community. But it was a great experience. I always tell everybody, I like the military. I didn't love the military. That's why I got out in 21 years. I was like, look, let me do my 20, and I believe in moving out the way and letting the younger generation take over. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to stay too long.
Yeah, I feel that.
I don't want to, you know, I want to leave just at the right time. So it was a good experience for me. I know other people, they say they've had, you know, mixed bag.
Yeah.
But for the most part, overall, I would say it was very beneficiary for me. The benefits, housing, you know, matter of fact, I'm in the process now of buying another house with my VA benefits. So, you know, so it's like, hey, you know, you just got to keep the ball rolling.
Yeah.
You know, get your VA benefits. You know, get your stuff. Get what's owed to you.
Yeah.
You know, so, and it's out there. We just don't know about it a lot of times. You know, we have to take advantage of what's there, and, you know, share our experiences.
No, that's a fact. Cause I don't know if you know that my dad fought Nam.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, my dad fought Nam, but
He did?
yeah, Dad fought Nam.
Damn, I didn't never know that.
Yeah, I thought I brought it up on the show. Yeah, Dad fought Nam, and
He went and he came back.
yeah, he went.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, he survived.
That is a blessing.
The stories
Yeah,
that he told me,
yeah.
ridiculous. Because my dad used to like to teach me lessons through movies, and a lot of people didn't like that because I really shouldn't be watching these movies. But at the same time, he taught me lessons through them. When I saw Godfather, when I saw Scarface,
Yeah.
he was like, if you want to be a gangster, this can happen. If you want to sell drugs, this can happen. You know what I'm saying? So like he showed me dead presidents. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of people went through. You know what I'm saying? And I understand from my dad's point of view the paranoia. You know what I'm saying? And from that, so I was gonna ask you like any traumas from active duty, because I know my dad had plenty of traumas, and from what you said about your VA benefits and all that, he was so like traumatized from the whole situation. He didn't see to seek any of that he could have got, and when we tried to do it, it was already way too late.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of people don't understand the benefits of you. So I'm glad that you said that. But was there any traumas during active duty you seen? Anything that was super crazy?
I would say that really the most traumatic thing for us was 9/11. And the thing about it is, I was in the DC Guard. I was actually at work, and I was a federal police officer. I worked at the Postal Service at that time, and it was at LaFont Plaza. LaFont Plaza is right across the bridge, from the Pentagon.
I worked at LaFont.
Yeah, so we could see everything that occurred, and that's one of the days that I don't think nobody would forget. That's one of those days that just America stopped. And right now I don't know how old you are.
He wasn't there.
He wasn't, but right. It's certain play. Right now you could probably say, what were you doing when the plane hit? You knew.
Yeah, I knew.
You know what
I
I'm
was in
saying?
Cesar Chavez.
Right. So
They brought the TV in, Stevie.
Yeah.
We kids. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
See, that was to
same
me.
thing
That
happened
was
to
not a
Steve.
good idea. I didn't know what they were thinking
I was
about.
like, we kids. I'm like, what's
They rolled the little
They
TV.
rolled the no.
What we doing?
They want to see it.
Usually they roll the TV in for for the little news. No, for the news because we had little school news. So they rolled it back out. Then they rolled it back in, and I was like, what? Okay, this different. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got a double show. So we see. So all of a sudden they just like, yeah, something happened, and they showed it. And then we saw it live when the second plane came in. We saw it live in second grade in Miss McDevitt class. I'm telling you.
And they showed kids. Why?
Yeah, they showed us that, and we were so confused. We were so confused, and then that's when they said early dismissal. First of all, early dismissal usually happened at like 12 o'clock. It was like 9:45. All the buses was there, including the YMCA, because I was a YMCA kid. I knew when the YMCA pulled up, I was like, oh, something serious. And we all went home. It was crazy. It was crazy. I was just talking about that. Yeah, they showed us that. He showed us that. Everybody that I talked to, we talked about it like when we used to talk about it in middle school. When we used to talk about it in high school, when they bring up 9/11. Every single person said they saw it in school.
Yeah.
We saw that happen in school on TV.
It was like probably over 10, 20 minutes later after they rolled the TV in.
Oh, we was gone.
When the plane hit the the second plane hit the second tower. And I knew when they kept changing the channel and it was on every single channel, I knew something was seriously wrong. Like I was like, yo, what is going on?
Man, I thought about Red Dawn.
Well, and cause
That's one of the old school movies Dad showed me. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, we're gonna have to Wolverine it. We're gonna have to kill some people out here. We're gonna shoot.
Yeah, and I knew because my mother worked at the Pentagon, but at that time she was working nights, but she was already gone. But the side of the building, the Pentagon is so big, people don't realize it. But the side of the building the plane hit, that's not the side she worked on. But so all day until we got home, me and my sister was like, yo, because we didn't have cell phones at that point. Me and my sister was like, yo, like I hope our mother was not inside that building. But in my mind, I was thinking, well, she's probably already gone. Typically, at that point when the plane hit the Pentagon. So
that was still a crazy.
We lost somebody at our church. Her name was Edna, and she worked in our kitchen. She was about 5'2", just as feisty as she could be, and it was a devastating loss because that's the only thing we was worried about when that happened. Still today, it shakes us a little bit that that she's no longer with us. I was on a UPS truck. I worked up the zoo, and I saw it actually at the zoo.
Wow!
And I saw the second plane hit, and they called us off the like, don't get on the road, just stay off the road until we tell you wherever you at, stay. And then I came back the long way through Georgia Avenue down Benny Road, and people just walking, and this one lady looked at me. She said, "Can I get a ride?" I said, "Ma'am, I can't put you in the UPW. You young people ain't shit." I was like, oh Lord, I said, man, I'm so sorry you think of me like that, but you can't get on this truck. She said, "You young people ain't shit." I still can't forget that. She just looked me straight in the eye. Told me I wasn't shit. I'm just trying to do a job.
Oh, jeez.
But it was like I say, everything back to game started from the business. What you did, what you saw. Who thought during that time we see that? Now during your time, you're going to see much more than we're going to see when we're gone. A black man being president, there's so many things in our lives now we got a chance to see. I lived in a house that was beside the Toma River, and when the high tide came, the river was in our backyard. I had a house. He said, "Was you ever a Boy Scout?" I said, "No, I wasn't a Boy Scout, but I lived like a Boy Scout." The house was made of plywood, and when the wind blew through, you could feel the wind. We didn't have running water. We had to tote out
the water. Yeah.
See, times have changed. It makes you appreciate things. And I remember when I got we got a pump, and the pump you had to pry the pump to get the water. And now the thing about prying a pump during the wintertime, it freezes.
Right.
So what you had to do, you had to get hot water out of off the stove.
Right.
We had a stove.
And pellet and
put the water down and keep pumping it
until it thaw out.
Until it thaw out. We took it actually, our food we raised. We raised pigs and chickens, and put the ham up in the smokehouse so the rats wouldn't get. You know, so you know, we look now from the time that I'm a fairly young, 62 young.
Yeah.
You know, and just from that period of time, what I've seen, what I will never see again, but has enough knowledge to know
How it was.
that I'm blessed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now I can just turn the faucet and fry and talk. We had to, you know, move it and cut up the wood and, you know, for Christmas tree, y'all go buy one. We went out and
We'll cut one down.
So
yeah.
down 6 months. I said, well, he gonna grow the grill, be pretty.
Yeah.
You know, so
I have an appreciation for things that we can never, and the degree of y'all having appreciating things that we can never have because
that's
y'all,
gonna happen to your gen. It's gonna happen to your gen because I've already seen it.
Oh yeah.
You already the mix is already being mixed
Mm-hmm.
because where you at and what somebody you to tell somebody what they're gonna see or where you been, they're looking at you. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't know.
Yeah.
And y'all only 10 years apart, and you probably to see what your brother had to see.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So
Have you ever seen a record player?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
Man.
Can't lie.
Okay. How about another one? Okay, what about a VHS tape?
Yeah, I've seen a VHS
All right,
tape.
cool.
Yeah.
cassette. You see
Yeah,
the
it's
cassette.
cassette.
Rotary phone? I ain't never seen one.
Like one with the numbers and you gotta. Yeah, I see.
Okay.
Back when I was like a little, like
Okay.
3 years old, it was still in the house.
Okay, okay.
Dial-up is.
The internet. Like dial-up internet.
Yeah.
Like I never seen it in person, but you know I used to study computers and stuff. Yeah.
The internet you got now compared to that, bro, you couldn't even be on the phone.
Don't be on the phone while your parents on the internet. Oh my goodness.
Pull up, you heard that.
And you online and you can't do nothing because your parents have picked up the phone. You just guys just stand there.
You just gotta wait.
I'm trying to do my project, Mom. Get off the phone with Grandma.
Yeah.
Exactly. Before we get in to our topic, one more thing. Tristan, my guy.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me, man.
No problem. We used to work together at Red Robin, and he was he was at a point. Yeah, he came at a point where I was just there to be there. It was one of those places that didn't respect what I did for them. You know what I'm saying? Worked like a slave, not appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Just used up. So I was just there just for a paycheck. And yeah. So
I was there too. Yeah.
he was. It was a point where most of my friends at the job had left, and it was just a whole bunch of little youngins. And I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna do my job and I'm gonna keep pushing. But you know, when the Lord tells you, you know what I'm saying, put some in your spirit, like, nah, you need to pour light into them. And I think I did that, and he one of the ones that I gravitated towards. I seen potential. I seen a good solid young dude. You know what I'm saying? So I gravitate towards him. He got his head on straight. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he's a youngin, so you know what I'm saying. So I try to feed him game that nobody gave to me, because you know what I'm saying. The point of having all of y'all here is to bridge the gap. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like with him is like I went through some of the same things that you going through, because we kind of like in the modern age, it's like y'all generations, we had a little bit in common, but some of this new stuff that we was going through, y'all couldn't really understand it. So when I seen him, I'm like, bro, I used to act like, bro, listen to me. You know what I'm saying? I know what you're going through, so I wanted him to be here and give him his flowers, because I appreciate him. Because he give me game too, and that's the thing that I hate about people that, you know what I'm saying, they just because you at a certain age or you at a certain level in life, like you can't spit game, you don't have any knowledge. That's not true. Listen to the message, not the messenger. You know what I'm saying? So he gave me game as well, but I wanted to ask you a couple things about being a college student and mass communications major, and how you trying to progress, how you know life outside of college is going to be. And I see you being a photographer and a videographer. How are you trying to balance all those things and make sure you pick the right path?
I mean, honestly, with me, I feel like when you leave high school, you said you have a choice: work, job, or military. I just feel like college for me, I had to go. I want to experience something different, because I feel like I had to get out of the DMV.
Yeah,
You know, like I really wanted to expand my options and like really see what the world has to offer for me, you know. So I chose the illustrious Southern University, of course. So, I mean, college down there is different. Louisiana is different. Baton Rouge is different. Everything is so different. Yeah, if you go down there, it's a culture shock. Like, you see a McDonald's on every corner here. You go down there, trees, cows, swamps.
Alligators?
Yeah.
Alligators, snakes.
Yeah, it's everything. And it's just like, dang, this is really the country. Like, this is not where I'm from. But honestly, I went into school as a computer science major, and I thought I wanted to do computer science because, you know, Duval, they had like an IT program and everything. That high school IT is nothing like college at all. So I was like,
oh yeah, he a fellow Tiger too. My bad, I didn't bring that up.
yeah.
How you leave that out?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I was like, I know I want to go to school, but computer science is not for me. Like, I already saw it. So I had to fall back on where I loved the second most, sports and everything, you know, everything that has to do with sports. So I was like, what's the fastest way I could get on the field without actually playing? A camera. So, a camera.
No, it's fact, yeah.
So it's literally the way it's all building up with me. I've met some wonderful people at Southern. I'm a part of this media group called Pressure Plus. I mean, some of the greatest people I've met. Like, they really helped. I take this, what I thought was just going to be a hobby, and it's really showing me, like, this could be your career. You could do this for real because there's such a strong backbone for me. You know, they tell me what's wrong, tell me, like, oh, yeah, you should do this. But on the other hand, college right now is crazy. Like, it's, and, like, trying to balance it all. Like, right now I'm taking a summer class. I got 3 jobs. I'm still trying to do photography and everything. And it's just like, you have to do what you have to do if you want to make it work. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Like, there are going to be people out there grinding, you know, taking pictures every day, getting better and better. I'm going to be at work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, whatever time you get, whatever chance you get, you got to really put it towards your craft. Because sometimes, like, you never know when that craft is going to be taken away from you. You know what I'm saying? Because literally, when I came home this May, my camera had got stolen. That's why I'm working those 3 jobs right now. I had to buy me a new camera off credit, pay it back, you know what I'm saying? Because I know I can't go too long without taking pictures or doing videography. Yeah, it's just, it's crazy. I mean, and then also, I also joined the NAACP at my school. So that's really,
that's
like,
what's up.
that's a big thing for me too, because
I was in NAACP.
you guys say, like, the generations are, like, getting messed up, but if you really look at the little kids, it's starting bad from, like, when they're, like, in elementary school. Like, they're seeing stuff on Instagram,
6,
TikTok,
7 years old,
everything. So it's like,
They got so much access to everything.
yeah, they can see anything they want.
You wonder if they're able to read.
Yeah, that's,
Because the fact they always got a device in their hand.
yeah, so it's just,
It cracks me up when parents say that kids can't read, but they know how to find everything on YouTube.
It don't make no sense. They can read YouTube though.
Get the first 3 letters, you good. The first 3.
They go by
And then
that.
Stroll down.
Did you mean this?
Yeah.
You just gotta hit that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but nah, with that, it's just, I've been taking that to really get in touch with, like, African American culture and everything, because we're really kings and queens walking around. So, like, I really don't like when I see a whole bunch of negativity around, or, like, because I'm a pretty positive person, if I do say so myself. So, like, all the negativity around, and, like, now, look, I love me some good music, you know what I'm saying? Like, music is bad nowadays, but it's not about letting the music, like, become impressionable. You know what I mean? Like, you can't let the music take over, like, who you are. And I think a lot of kids really listen to the music that they hear nowadays, and they let it think, oh, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Like, I do this, you know? Yeah.
That's all
fact.
they want to do is spin the block.
Young God, riding free cars and everything. That,
But see,
Wear
but
ski mask and have ops that don't even resist. But yeah.
But see, this is the reason why we need to have the older generation to be there. You know what I'm saying? To stop that, because of course, like when I was just saying about my dad and showing the movies, I saw in the movies, I saw, you know, some of the crazy stuff y'all probably seen on social media through the movies, but I had my dad right there to filter out the BS, so y'all can take the message from that. If we have that, it wouldn't be an issue. Now, granted, you know what I'm saying, it's certain youngers that don't have that person, but they'll find it in the street. As you being the OG, you should be telling them the same thing, but you on that BS too. See, it's not like
official OGs no more.
it's not. That's
Now the
my
OGs
problem.
nowadays spinning the block with them.
That's my problem.
Because
That's
I
my problem.
grew up in
Go ahead, get the mic. Yeah.
I grew up in Ridge Park.
Mhm.
They know. Okay, don't mess with him. He ain't about that life. Oh, run to the store for me and get me some chips or something. That's how they would treat you.
Mm-hmm.
But the niggas they know that's gonna go be out there, they treated them totally different. They knew how to mess that word up.
Decipher.
They knew how to separate the normal youngins to the he gonna be my runner. He gonna do this, that, and the third. Like it's no more respect is gone. That's the biggest thing now. Like as we sitting here listening to them talk.
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
20.
The 20-year-olds out there in the streets, they not gonna sit here and listen to nothing they say. That's bullshit. They don't. It's no more respect out in the streets no more. I'm 38. They call it. Me being called an OG. I'm like, damn. I ain't too much older than y'all.
I've been called an OG since I've been.
Bro, we
25.
getting it now at our age.
Yeah.
We 31. Yeah.
He definitely called me OG one time. I'm gonna slap fire. I'm like, all right.
How old are you?
Disrespect, huh? I just turned 30.
See, when we were 20, when I was 20, I would sit there and be like, oh, for real, I would respect them. These 20-year-olds now,
Yeah.
it's no respect. All they want to do is kill somebody. And I hate to say that, it's no more, like, the OGs is gone.
Yeah.
The OGs would man, get out the streets, man. Like the youngers that hoop.
Yeah.
Like the youngers that hoop. Back then, you don't need to be out here, champ. You need to be in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be in the gym. Get out the streets. Now, it's, fuck it. We out here.
It's OGs out here. I mean, what's
OGs listening to it's youngins like him.
Supposed
No,
to be.
I'm not youngins like you, but it's 20-year-old youngins around neighborhoods now that's got the OGs listening to them. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of 20-year-olds in a 40-year-old man body.
Running the
That's
neighborhood.
the problem.
That should not be going on.
That's the problem.
That should not be going on. You a 20-year-old should not be. We should not be hanging on the block, and you telling me, man, run to the store for me, or do this for me, and I'm like, yeah, like the hierarchy shouldn't run like that.
No.
It shouldn't. You as a 20-year-old, if we on the block, man, go to the store. It's the other way around. Like it's like you see it, man. The OGs buying drugs from the youngest. That ain't happened before. It was the other way around.
It's not they.
It's no more. It's like with you as you were a positive influence back in the day. It ain't like that no more because them kids listen to you. A kid now, if you was in Boy Scout, you couldn't get none of these youngers out there in the street to be no Boy Scout. I'm not doing this bullshit. That's exactly. And they 15 years old telling you straight to your face, I'm not doing this bullshit. At 15 years old, I wouldn't cuss around
Adults.
no adults. I don't care if you my older cousin. By 6
At
years,
all, yeah.
You're 21, I'm 15. I'm not saying no cuss word in front of you.
At
know why?
all, yeah.
You smack the fire out of me.
Right.
The problem is that you started at 15. You got to grab them 2, 3, 5.
Thank you.
My grandmother was from the country.
Yeah,
My grandmother
you got to
from Troy,
grab them
Alabama.
because at 15 years old, I don't really want to work with you anyway because I already know
Yeah.
that you got a problem. And it's going to be my problem trying to sit here and waste time sometime. I was in a conversation with a young man. Me and my uncle was out eating. And as we was out eating, this young guy was busting the table. He said, I'm busting the tables. I'm washing the dishes. I'm doing all this. And he said, I'm going to leave here. I don't even want to be here. But he told me all the jobs he had, and he's here. And then he kept calling us OGs. Well,
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there listening. He said, well, I really, I respect you, but I really want to hear that. Then my uncle slid him a tip. He said, look, this is for you, just for you, for what you do. It changed his whole morale. So somebody got to give something for them to talk to you, you know what I mean? You got to open yourself up that they can talk. There's a way of handling these things. You just got to be patient enough to do it.
See, I think what makes it what makes the youngins do the things that they do currently right now as we speak in a lot of ways is like there's no one there to guide them. No one, no coaches, no mentors, no parents, no uncles, no aunties, because all of them strung out.
Yeah.
Or outside on a block with them, or locked up, or dead.
Or the few ones that are trying to do it, they're talking at them instead of trying to talk to them.
There we go.
You gotta respect. Like,
Yeah.
You gotta
You gotta
talk.
respect
You, you gotta talk
You gotta
to
give
him.
him respect.
You know
You
what
gotta
I'm
give
saying?
respect.
You gotta get
You
them
gotta
respect. You
respect
can't
the
tell.
young
You
guy.
can't
gotta
act
respect
like. You can't act like because they're younger, they're inferior. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're just younger. They're just inexperienced. That's all it is. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But like I said, listen to the message. But their responses are pure because they're less jaded by society because they haven't been here long enough. The more you've been somewhere, you're gonna be jaded by your situation
Right.
because you've been living in it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be careful of how you talk to them because they're pure. They don't really know too much or nothing because they haven't been here long enough to know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So don't talk at them, talk to them.
And the things that they see now are totally different. It ain't what you saw in 1960. Just like we said.
Yeah, you ain't
I,
saying
I, I can't come and talk to you about how I lived and expect you really to understand pumping your you like you was a slave. You know, so with that in mind, you have to find out how to reach, how to talk to the new generation. Because if we don't, it's a dying. We did so much to fight to get here, and we're losing what we had
Yeah.
because we're not looking down and picking up somebody.
I mean, I just think, you know, within our community, we're not seeing the bigger picture.
At all.
Like, we're not understanding like what's going on around us because we're so. And you know, me and Troy have had this conversation briefly offline. You know, while we out, you know, but you know, we get so stuck in this 50-mile radius, right? Having tunnel vision of what's going on immediately around us, but I mean, the world is way bigger than the DC metropolitan area.
Yeah.
And so when
That's a fact.
so when we have, you know, different politicians and these different you know so-called representatives that's supposed to be representing the people, passing these different laws and doing different things. I mean, we see it. We seeing it. You know, Roe versus Wade was overturned.
It's ridiculous.
You know, the stuff going on with affirmative action. I mean,
Ridiculous.
it's
Taking us back.
yeah. I mean, and looking like here locally,
Yeah.
the redistricting of the certain areas.
Yeah.
Like,
Hold
what's
on.
what's so right? So what's considered? So what was considered Kentland to us is Hyattsville now.
Oh, they've been doing that.
But what I'm saying, right? But what I'm saying is to increase the property value of all those homes,
Homes that's
it's way
in.
worse in the city now. Like,
right? Making it
like the neighborhood that you knew back then, they gone, man.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
640 is gone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gone.
What's the other jump?
What?
Boy,
With the farms.
Oh yeah, farms. gone.
all that's
Farms
gone.
Yeah.
And those was
Yeah.
you grew up on hearing about stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
They want white people to be there.
Man, you got white people jogging around the farms now with their dogs.
Yeah, that-
And I'm glad
It was
you,
not like that growing up.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up that affirmative action thing because
Mm-hmm.
this is a question I want to steer towards y'all too. Because with that being said, because they did that for the universities and all that.
Mhm.
They said it was unconstitutional, but they didn't waive it for the military. So affirmative action can be used to serve your country, to serve y'all, but when it comes to you to serve us, it's unconstitutional. How do y'all feel about that?
Well, I heard when they made the decision, and the funny thing about it, I used to work at the Supreme Court as a police officer,
It's crazy.
and Clarence Thomas, I've met him. I mean, we've had conversations,
Mm-hmm.
and believe it or not, if you talk to him, you would say, "This is a country bumping," you know, like that. But his views are totally different.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the ones who had made the statement about affirmative action. But it's a broader context because once you start doing universities, now you, like you said, the military, banking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, I'm in the process of getting a house now. And I mean, we have excellent credit. Excellent. And I'm like, why are y'all asking us all these freaking questions? I mean, it's like, dude, you know, you give me, we bought, what, three houses. And this is the fourth house. So I'm like, why are you giving me such a hard time? You know what I'm saying? But this is, you start to open the door for things like this. And once you abolish affirmative action, it's going to spread over into the banking. It's going to spread over into other areas. And we know, as far as we know how it is in the business world. It's not fair. I mean, come on. You look at your businesses. Who benefits the most? You know what I'm saying? When you go, if you go to a company, you look up on the wall, you ain't gonna see too many of us up there. You know, not unless we started it. You know what I'm saying? So affirmative action should never have been abolished. I mean, I don't know what they're. I understand I understand the concept of what they're saying. We progress, but have we progressed? Yeah, we haven't progressed that far to say, oh, well, we don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
Because, come on, it's still lopsided.
Yeah, but you still have affirmative actions in the military, though. Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't get that part.
When you say in the military, you're saying...
So far as, they said, no, they abolished affirmative action for far as colleges and all that, but not for the military. So they still use affirmative action for the military. So it's okay for the military to have affirmative action, but not when you want to further your education and all that. That was my issue.
And I think what it is, when you open that door, because I was looking at the news the other day, it's another side to it. You know, they call it legacy in these colleges. So, you know, if your dad went to Harvard, you're a legacy. So you get, you know, so now we get to attack that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, you don't want affirmative action, but you shouldn't get legacy either. You know what I'm saying? Let's be for real. You know, your dad went to Harvard, so you get to go to Harvard. You get points.
Now they ain't gonna like that because it's not a lot of people that look like us that our daddies or our uncles went to Harvard and all that. But there's a lot of them that look like that too.
Right, and they've gotten in on legacy. So now you start to. Like I said, when they made that decision, once you make decisions like that,
you open a Pandora's box.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But I think.
But let's get on it then.
I mean, I think that's the bigger overall missed point is to create chaos. Really, honestly. Roe versus Wade, affirmative action. I mean, so in a sense, as much as it's making our lives hard, which it's always been for us, really. So I mean, what we going through ain't really nothing different. Our lives been hard since we were born, because we're black. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. But I mean, really, it's just to create everything that we've been seeing the past, few years. It's chaos.
They want to put us now back in HBC schools. They want to strengthen the HBC schools because that's who. Oh, they're right here. They're right here. Now it's how far we do in our schools to bring us out, to be dynamic in our neighborhoods and in our, just like back in the day, the churches were the place. But now the HBC schools can be the education place. And it's going to run us here. We're not even going to think about going. We're going to go right to those schools. Now, what are we doing to better those schools?
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Thank you. That's the next question.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah, that's the next question because you've been to HBCU. You've been to HBCU. No, was you in HBCU?
Well, that college was mixed.
It was mixed? Okay. You've been to HBCU. I've been to HBCU. They can do a lot better.
But even the HBCUs are whitewashed nowadays.
How so?
So I forgot who I had this conversation with, but whenever so George Floyd, for example, right? I'm just use that because that was a global. Everyone recognized that incident. Whenever something occurs in our community on that scale, I mean it happens every day. We know that, but it was just grandiose. We never hear from the black churches. We never hear from the HBCUs. We never hear from our so-called black leaders in a way in which they are helping the community by either opening up their wallets, holding symposiums, training for us, helping spearhead new opportunities for us, we never get any of that. And the reason why, and there's some people on the ground that's doing the work, but the reason why we never hear from any of those folks is because
it's not enough.
it's because there's a white man in their back pocket funding whatever it is. Oh, so if you respond to this incident, okay, we're gonna cut all our funding. Okay, we're not gonna say nothing. We're not gonna do nothing. Because we always looked at the church as a place. I mean, as that one entity that should provide that helping hand to the community. You don't really see a lot of black churches out there on the ground doing the work like that, for real.
You don't see it as much as you saw it because right now we've become too much independent, quote unquote. We think we made it. Now back then, the church was a pillar because we had we had to do this.
Right.
Okay.
We had to stick together.
We had to. Now who wants to get them to go to church? Now you can't blame that on the church. You blame that on the house. Because sometimes it's up to the individual house if they're going to decide, are we going to serve?
Yeah.
Are you going to get that base?
I don't
got
know.
A lot of corrupt churches out
Oh,
here that turns away a lot of people.
Well, people turn away people.
I mean, and they people who run the church. So you know what I'm saying. If you got corrupt people in the church, then the church gonna be corrupted.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of youth stray away from the church because of that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But it's not a lot of how can I say? It's not a lot of churches that you can find that's a good church, and they also don't talk at you.
Family-oriented churches.
You know what I'm saying? Family-oriented, you know what I'm saying? Very welcoming. It's not a lot of them.
Living real, authentic lives.
Okay. It's not a lot of them.
Let me raise my hand right there. Because
it's not.
It's not. Let me say this here. The church that I attend now, I attend another church for many, many years. I attend City of Praise up there by the stadium, right by the Redskins Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah, it used to be Jericho. City of Praise Family Ministries. City of Praise Family Ministries. Okay. I guarantee you, if you come there, it will be an experience that you never will forget. It's not like any other church. And trust me, like I said, I've been going to another church for over 20 years. When I went to City of Praise, it was a different vibe altogether. And I couldn't understand, you know my sons. My sons, he was telling me the same thing. He said, we grew up in church, man, and I'm just, we never got it. We never got it. And, he started telling me some of the, experiences. He was like, it just wasn't clicking. With this church here, and you just have to experience. Sunday at 10 o'clock, they don't hold long. They don't talk at you. We love you where you are. And like Lewis was saying before, look, if we can all go through together, we can all come out together. It's a family atmosphere, and it's different than any other experience. And I've been going to church all my life. I put it like that. And like you said, it's not a lot of good ministries out there like that. But when there's one, that's why I raise my hand, because I usually don't say nothing. But when you find one, you need to really gravitate towards it. So, hey, look, Sunday 10 o'clock. Look, and then during the game, during the season, look, you can park right there and walk on to the game.
I like City Praise. I've been in mine for 38 years, and like I said, I started a Boy Scout troop for 25 years, and these people that's in this church helped raise the children. We did children's ministry, so I'm not going to say there's never none. It's just you got to look for one, and then you have to be the difference, because you have to give something to get something. You can't go in with a closed mind and think it's going to pop to you overnight. And for me, to move and to see something and all, just like anything you do in your life, sometimes you got to put your time in it to get the reward. You can't flick one or two cameras and think you got to flick thousands of them before you get good at catching that post. So I would not say that you that's not there. Because I believe that if you don't believe in nothing, you fall for anything.
Facts.
That's
You're
a
gonna have
fact.
to have something that you believe in, or some type of, and it can't be to your sick thinking, because all of us don't. Let's be for real. If we thought we knew it all,
Right.
we'd be further along than we were.
Right.
Just touch one more thing. Our black community, sometimes we legacies. I'm seeing now more and more. We talk about the church and communities. We're talking about you got a house, and now your parents are leaving that house. And now you the person that they left it to. You know what's happening? You selling it to the next person. Okay.
Instead of keeping that
To
within
keep
your
it
family.
and you're keeping it in your portfolio to help your legacy, to help your generation. But if you don't build it up to keep it, the first thing you do. I know a brother who had a house that parents left to him. The state came and got it because he couldn't pay $500 a year for taxes. No
That's
mortgage,
crazy.
no nothing.
That's crazy.
Couldn't do, he didn't want to.
Good point.
Hey,
Or why does he don't want to?
yeah.
Because
My parents could have left me a house down there.
$500 in taxes ended up became to be $40,000 tax, and they won't call you and say, hey, you want to celebrate? No. They wait till you can't find the $40,000.
We feel I know our generation, and especially y'all, we fail to see the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? And think further down the road. We think about the now, and not thinking about, like, okay, if I make this little sacrifice right now, the benefits of this will further me and my family further. You know what I'm saying? But we think about the right now, because it's happening right now. And we like, more presence. And I feel like that's a gift and a curse. Because sometimes that's what's the problem with y'all. Y'all not figuring out the right now. Y'all think, well, back in the day, we did it. I understand that, but we are not at that time right now. I need you to be present. Right. And sometimes we need to look at our past so we can know our present and our future and where we going. You know what I'm saying? What we supposed to do. And we fail to realize that sometimes. And that's why the disconnect with the generations, we need to understand it's pros and cons in any generation. Any generation has their pros and cons, but you have to seep out the cons and focus on the pros, so you all get together, be together, better together. You know what I'm saying? If we do that, we will be better off, and especially with our men. We don't need because men, we're naturally competitive. So sometimes it come to, well, man, back day, you know what I'm saying, we competitive with our day and how we did it. Well, y'all had to go through that. We ain't had to go through that. Nah, how about you understand what they had to go through and figure out, you know what I'm saying, where you can take from that. You know what I'm saying? Like appreciation. Like we get like appreciation for things. They got that because we didn't have to work so much of it. And I feel like our pros is the fact that we had the balance of each other too. We had a little bit of that, of the old school, and a little bit of the new school. You know what I'm saying? We have a balance. And them, I feel like they're more open and honest, you know what I'm saying, about their emotions and what they want to do. And they more 10 toes on, because we was a little jaded. They're not. They like, nah, fuck that. This is how I feel. This is how it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? So we can take a little bit about everything and put it together. We will be good together.
Yeah.
We're like crabs in a basket.
In the barrel, crab in the barrel,
the hotter it get, the in life, the more we cling on to bringing somebody down with us. You know what I mean? I don't know we're gonna be cooked up in here. You know what I mean? And with that mentality, we're starting to lose more, and to what we actually ever gonna see. You know, because I'm praying for you. You know what I mean? I'm praying for you.
Listen.
I see y'all gonna make it, because if you wasn't gonna make it, you wouldn't have the concept that you're doing now to look for change or the thought of thinking.
Yeah.
You know, so I pray for you.
I mean, were we getting to your topic?
I thought we were already.
Okay. No, I'm just making sure we on. We on point. Okay.
Like somewhere,
You know,
I just ease right into it. I ain't really like, okay, we started now.
Can we? You know, we.
Whatever you want to talk about, I think we already did.
But in one aspect of it I want to get into, and I think you're about to get into that.
With the women?
Yes, Lord. Yes. Thank you.
See, this is why we.
Because
What you about to get into? How many women on here before we go too far?
Is mine on here?
I think we good. I think we good.
Okay.
It's the
the only
to me
our
it's
views. Don't take this as you know.
yeah. To me it's shameful where it's shameful where you can't tell the difference if you take if you not knowing the person's age and you just take their actions. It's crazy that you can't tell how old a person is the way they talk to females nowadays or treat females. You would think the older generation would have some sense and know better, but no, they act like fucking 19-year-olds. And the 19-year-olds, some of the boy, some of the way.
Jack, right quick.
Go ahead.
Let me just say this. A lot of these females nowadays, in every age bracket, aren't used to being talked to nice. Is that what you're getting at?
Well, that's what,
Listen,
yeah,
yeah,
of course.
Because me working at the club, I could talk to a girl like we're having a conversation, and they don't get this. They don't receive you talking to them like they're a human or they're your peer. Mm-hmm. You gotta really nowadays. You gotta talk to them like they trash on the street, and they more receptive to you calling them bitches and yelling at them and screaming at them because they're not used to being respected. And I know that's probably what she was getting at. Because
I was getting at, but on our side.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming from us because they're so not used to men talking to them like they're women. They talk down to them. So when you talk to a female and say how you having a nice day or all that, they look at you like, what the fuck is your punk ass talking to me like that? Like,
I feel that, but it's a
am I
that's a fact. That's a fact.
You're not.
You would know even better because you're younger than that, so
That's
you
a
know
fact.
even better. Like it's like, bro, like you can sit there and have a conversation with a female. You be like, how your day going and all that, and then they respond back, why you want to know?
Oh yes.
Did I do something wrong to you?
It's a given.
All right, that's
it's a,
the last time I'm talking to you.
It's a given. It's a give and take though. It's a give and take because if it was more youngins respecting women, they wouldn't come off of that because they used to that. It's a give and take. It's a give and take. I believe it's a give and take because man, come on now. Some of the stuff, man. How many youngins we worked with together, and some of the shit how they come to females and try to talk to them.
Nah,
disrespectful.
Yeah, but okay, but
disrespectful.
what kind of?
It's also social media though. That's society.
Of course.
But that's what I was getting at. What kind of environment did they grow up in?
Because social media is,
Of course.
in the songs,
But that's
and
where it
rap and
starts.
Everything is geared
Yeah.
to disrespecting women and calling them out their name and treating them like shit because they like that or being side bitches or all that is glorified now. Back then it was like everybody say they got to bring back 90s R&B stuff like that because we was crying. We was crying to the women.
But we not gonna sit here and act like they didn't have that too. They just worded different.
We not.
But
that's
it wasn't
They just worded different. You listen to the songs now, they was trash too, but it came off better. But now, you done went from
You can ring my bell. Okay,
everything
now,
is
If you learn how to do
What
that,
are you ringing? Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying.
You know.
I'm just what I'm saying is the what am I trying to say? I just feel like it's certain things that naturally you just know that's just not. Even though if you grew up in some bullshit and you grew up in, it's just something naturally you can be like, this not right. This not right. And people ignore that and made that excuse because of childhood traumas and where they grow up. You can't continue to do that. You cannot let traumas dictate your present and your future. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. Or we're going to continue to go through this. We're going to continue to go through this.
Sure,
You know what I'm saying?
Well, anytime I step out, whether I'm by myself or with my boys, I mean, Troy can tell you, I can smell it. I can smell your trauma.
Yeah.
But you come here throwing these drinks down, whatever you.
Woo!
Yeah.
Cheeks out.
Yeah, but I can smell it on you. I can smell it.
And these dudes out here too, like, you know what I'm saying? They want to be tough for no reason. You gang banging on bacon. Everywhere you go, you got to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Social media. And it's like I said, Ja Morant.
That's
man.
what I wanted.
Ja
I wanted to
fucking
go
Morant.
there. I wanted to go
Ja
there.
fucking
I wanted to
Morant.
go.
A millionaire. A fucking millionaire.
Tripping.
But here's my thing with him. Because you can say to him being the younger, but I don't know this for sure, but his damn dad is acting like
there every fucking day.
his damn boy. He acting like his boy instead of acting like a father.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Goddamn,
He
because
is
he
a-
probably control your damn finances. Fuck that,
He
son.
right there
What the
with
hell are
him.
you doing?
It ain't no listen.
What are you doing?
With his daddy being there with him all the time, it ain't no fucking way that he should
Ain't
be,
no way he
that
should be on there
spinning
acting
the
like
block
that.
and acting like he.
You pointing, you
Bruh,
shooting a beat.
You don't need to
pointing
do
the beam at
that.
her.
You don't need to do that
He's
because
not doing. That's what I'm
because
saying.
That's his brother now.
That's-
That's
that's
another
his
thing.
friend.
That's another thing.
That's
Parents
his
ain't
friend.
parents ain't
That's
being
the issue.
Parents ain't being
Where that
parents no more. They
disconnect
right here
is.
next to each other. Come on, it's no fucking way. I don't even know my father. Fuck him. But I'm just saying. I guarantee if I was Ja Morant and I had cousins and shit, I promise you they wouldn't have me out here.
I'm telling you,
Just
Dennis
spending-
Young would have yoked me up at the press conference.
My older cousin, he used to take me to the barbershop and stuff. That was like my brother.
Yeah.
Let me admit, Ja Morant, the first time I put a gun on there, that'd have been the last fucking time. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like they don't. Like T should have been in his ass
Yeah.
immediately. It's no
Yeah.
fucking reason that you a millionaire and you out here because you listen to the young boy and he got you thinking you about to spend the block. That ain't even your lifestyle, chat. You got more money than everybody in this room
But he
combined.
not even from that anyway. You're not
you
even
got
from
a
that.
two-parent household. You got, but that's the same way with
See,
youngest from Largo.
I had an OG.
and-
Look, I love gangster rap.
Let me not
I
get
love the ignorant shit and all that. We listen to that shit, but we know how to cipher through that just
I can
music
go-
and entertainment.
I can listen-
Then what's
I
the
can-
real?
I can listen to Young
What are
Boy
you
right
talking
now,
about?
but I'm not gonna pull out. I'm
You know
not
what I'm
gonna go
saying?
around nobody, shoot nobody
I'm
because
gonna crank the NBA YoungBoy.
'Cause he crank.
I'm gonna listen
He
to
do.
Black Thought.
I listen
Because
to
he
everything.
has substance, you know what I'm saying? You got to filter through that bullshit. If you don't got no OG to teach you how to filter through that, you ain't going to be able to enjoy that. That's why people say, oh, this happened and all that. No, forget all that. Where's your morals? You know what I'm saying? Who raised you? You know what I'm saying? You have to understand that this is just entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely had some fucking OGs. You can tell.
Oh, no, he did. He did.
You carry yourself.
Yes.
You carry.
I had
you
a
had
father.
a real father.
I had a Mr. Ed at the YMCA. I had a Mr. Carter at Duval. I had them people.
You carry
That's why
yourself
me
like a
now.
45-year-old grown man that's
I'm
married.
telling you, that's why
and got
me
4
now,
kids.
as
Nothing
a
wrong with it,
custodian, no, you good, but as a custodian right now, I try to pour into light into those kids as much as my capability, because I had people out there. I had a Miss Cooper. I had different people, not even just men, women, period, that was there for me. That's the problem I'm having.
Right.
It's like it's no just good citizens out here. They just try to figure out and try to make sure everybody's good. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to just blow past people because they situation. You can try to pour light into them into your capability.
Shit, you gotta
Don't go past your capacity to do things, but fill it up. Fill your capacity up to do whatever you need to do to pour light.
You
into
know
that
what's
person.
sad is shit.
I don't need to know you to pour light into you.
And that's what it is.
Right.
I don't need to know you.
That's what it is.
It's
Like,
no good Samaritans, and we talked about it. It's barely any good Samaritans, especially when it comes to within us. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Y'all little niggas don't want know nothing. Tell me. How about that?
Well, shit.
Talk to me nicely
Talk
when
to
you
me.
tell me. Don't
talk
yell
me.
at me. And that's
Don't come at me.
and that's why you can't.
as you being a youngin', don't be like, oh, you don't know shit. Da 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 da. No, you don't know shit because you just been here yesterday. So what you talking about?
Well,
He this man advice because he doesn't have.
what's
he
sad?
got good parents and clearly y'all. That's your nephew.
Yes.
I see why who you are right now, champ. You got good people behind your back, and you should be motivated. You can talk to them because I'm sitting here like, damn. and you younger than me, but your passion, your fire, your desire, you right. You get out there and you talk to these youngers. Talk to them like men.
Yeah.
Talk to them. Sit down.
He
Like,
can
bro,
attest to that. He
yeah,
can
but
attest to that.
it ain't real. This glorified shit that just spinning the block and having ops and shit. That shit ain't worth it.
I mean, shit. Like even when I'm out, you know, I mind my own business. I do my own thing. I'm chilling. I've had like older dudes come up to me and be like, bro, you so chill. Like I'm like, that's just me, bro.
That's me. Like,
That's just me. I'm not trying to be on the scene.
Used to everybody rah.
I'm not trying to. Yeah,
it's
I like
kind of surprising when you see somebody that's raised right. I never get one of the cafeteria ladies at the school I work with. She came to me. She was like, "Hey, let me ask you a question. You was raised by your grandma, wasn't you?" I was like, my grandma was my life, but my mama raised me, so I understand why
I was raised by my grandparents. and they know. The older people know because they ain't too much older than me, but I'm still gonna say, "Sir, how you doing, sir?" Like it's
no, absolutely, yeah.
It's a respect thing.
Yeah.
My grandmother ain't play that. When you walk in the room, you speak to everybody in that room. You walk in somebody's house, you acknowledge everybody in there.
Please, thank you.
Everything.
First of all, you take your shoes off at the door.
You hold the door for women. You it's a certain level that you were brought from the parents back then because
you walk on the side close in the street
because they knew, like they said, they came from
like
down bottom. They know, they seen struggle. They seen, like this man said, pumping some shit. We wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to do that. Nah, I'm not doing that.
Chopping
I was
wood.
mad when it was hot. When we had nothing to drink, we had to get out the water hole. You remember at the water hose at grandma's house?
Yeah, because we was outside, and that's another.
And that was some good water.
And you know what's crazy? I was just talking to one of my close friends the other day. I was talking to my friend the other day. I said, bro, we used to leave out the house at 11 o'clock in the morning, summertime. Leave out the house at 11 o'clock in the morning. It would not come back in the house till 7 p.m. You know why? Because my grandmother said, once you leave out this damn house, ain't no running in and out. You ain't gonna be. You're not air conditioning the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
If you come in here, you stand in here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's like so we was free. And another thing, people ain't friends no more because we was real friends. We pulled our money together. Let's go to the carryout.
Yes, facts.
Let's get some wings and a 2-liter soda.
Yeah.
And all of us gonna eat off that together.
We all eat all together. We was definitely
7 to 8 people drinking a 2-liter.
It was a sense of community, not with just
friends.
our parents,
we were friends.
with the kids as well. It's not like that. It's not like that.
Nah,
it's not like how it was like
we wanted to go outside.
It was like you knew the whole neighborhood.
Everybody.
It's not like that.
Neighborhoods inside each other, beefing with each other, up top and down bottom. That shit wasn't going on back.
Yeah.
We is one. We should be. If it's a problem, we should be. Our problem was another neighborhood, and we should not be in the same neighborhood hating each other because we came up. We went to elementary school, middle school, high school together. They, like you said, he went to summer out of
South Carolina.
When he left down there, that's how people treat you now that you grew up with. You be like, damn, nigga, we used to go to elementary school together.
Bro, we used to have football teams for the neighborhood,
and we would travel to go play other neighborhoods.
We'd put something in a pot. Coming together, and then we talking mess during the game, but after the game, it's all good.
Yeah.
We dap up and all that.
We on the concrete playing. We on the concrete tackling each other.
Yeah, on concrete.
You know,
on concrete. We playing football.
We can't talk about ACLs and none of that.
We on the basketball court playing football.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
All day. We on the playground all day. We just laughing.
Block parties used to be
block party.
Peaceful.
You can't have a block party now because if you have a block party now, guess what's gonna happen?
Somebody's gonna be spinning the block.
Yeah.
Somebody spin the block.
And that you're supposed to be peaceful. No,
It's
peaceful.
Just like they wanted to bring back the all ages go-go's.
Hey,
Remember the all ages go-go's.
They can't. Nowadays, that would be the biggest massacre in DC history.
I'm telling you,
Can't do it.
It's more.
It used to be 13-year-olds sometimes. Well, I used to question what he's doing in here.
Social media would get somebody hurt nowadays.
No, literally.
Because you can't. These kids don't go to the parties for the same things. We went to parties,
and it was bad back then.
Yeah, but they was going to parties. We going to parties to get. They going. I don't like this thing.
They going fishing. That's what they call it.
They going on a mission to kill somebody.
We dealt with that.
Yeah, but nowadays they got access to damn army guns that we ain't even never heard of.
But Troy, but to your point, you made a good point about us putting our money together to share food.
Yeah.
When
everybody eats.
But hold on, time out.
10 wings for $10.
But the lesson within that, there were some kids who didn't have food.
They didn't have
food at home.
And you guess what? You might joke with them, but guess what you still gonna do?
You save their life.
You're gonna make sure. Oh, you don't got no money? I don't know what to tell you. But then guess what?
Oh, how much you got, bruh? How much you got?
Oh, you don't got no. Yeah, we'll laugh at you. We'll laugh at you because you ain't got no money. But guess what?
make sure
you gonna eat.
You gonna eat.
still
Facts. Yeah.
You might be the
yeah,
last.
Yeah.
You might
yeah.
be the last person. We all
Right.
gonna sit around. I can attest to all this. We all been out there. Maybe not you, because you ain't there with this. No disrespect. But we all been out there. But we all gave our money, and the person that didn't have no money got the last piece or two of chicken. It happened, and we all would sit around and be like, and then that person would be sitting over there looking at us, because they ain't put no money up, right?
Right.
What would be the end result? Here, man. Here, man. Here, take this. Like you would, and then 2 minutes later, after you done clowned them, guess what? We dapping each other up, man. You know we.
You
love
good?
You.
Yeah,
but
you good?
It's
Yeah.
not
Right.
not there no more. It's not there no
That's
more.
the dynamic again. Back to the family structure. I live in the city.
Yeah.
You know, some my friends right now. What? You still live in the city? I didn't come from the city. I'm Charles County, Plano, down that. You know, like I said, water in the backyard. You know, it's a build-up lot now. You know, so we don't do that. We don't do that no more. But it's the family structure again. Now you got Pop and Aunt Pop and Uncle Joe. Everybody's selling in the house. You got everybody coming in and out of the house. Now your house is no longer a house. It's a crack house. It's a and you raising children up in there.
We were scared of our parents.
You know
I was
what are
scared.
we getting out of that house?
I was scared of my grandmother.
You know, now what you want to do, if being a homeowner, you don't want to live in that area. You want to move out of that area. But you know what's happening when we move out of that area? They're moving into that area.
Right.
Now, I live in the Southeast. Now, when I bought my house, I was like Stevie. They was like, I made enough money to buy the house.
Yeah.
They put me through so much. Like, where you getting this money from, young man? I got a job. I go to work every day, 14 hours sometime a day. That's what. But they took me to the ringer because I'm a single. At that time, I was a single black man buying
Yeah.
a house by myself. How you doing it by yourself? We don't want that. And more time than not, I looked at even in my neighborhood. I've got white, Palestinians.
Yeah.
Egypt, Egyptians. I mean, I got everything in the neighborhood. Gays, Chinese.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you know what's happening? I'm seeing them come in. I see us leaving. And now the houses are starting, and people don't know about generational wealth. We got through talking about that.
Yeah.
Before you know it, they don't want you to get in, because once you get in, they found out, oh, you got equity in your house now. They want to call you every day for you to sell out your equity to get you out of the house.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
And we'd say, oh, I'm going to take that $200,000. I'm going to go live, you know. And you know how long is that going to last? Just have to go buy you another house? Now you're paying $1,700 for an apartment, 2-bedroom, for where you had $1,500 and you had a house with equity.
Not seeing that big picture like I was
Right.
saying.
We got simple thinking, small thinking.
Yeah. I'm
small
gonna take this $250K and buy my dream car.
Go on vacation.
Yeah. Go on vacation. Yeah.
But another thing, we respected our parents though. That was we respected our parents coming up. My grandmother wasn't my friend. I couldn't talk to my grandmother. My
Say so,
grandmother
so.
wasn't my friend. My older cousins treated me like they younger cousin.
Yeah.
Don't get around me acting different, because I'm gonna put hands on you. Y'all ain't too.
Yeah.
That was different. It was a different age. And
Yeah.
we can't bring that now because the kids are calling the police. My mother hit me. I
Yeah.
told my grandmother that time one time, she said, go ahead. I ain't gonna go ahead and call them and see what's gonna happen when they get here.
Yeah.
You shouldn't give up on that. Because I go through that with my nephew. Because with him, you know what I'm saying, we cut different. I was getting body shots by the time I was 4 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
So that's different.
Yeah, I was getting my older cousins.
But with him, when I was trying to hit him up and all that, just to like the tough love, it was like I was attacking him. No different from a dude on the street. For what I did was, let me try to get where you at. Let me see where you. Let's come in the middle. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm not gonna baby you, but I'm gonna talk to you. Let's talk it out, and then it start clicking. That's the problem. See, once we realize we not cut the same. How about you try to try to figure it out? try to figure
That
out.
goes back to
Don't
respect.
ever, no, you know, don't
Yeah.
like, you know, don't like, you know what I'm saying, baby it too much, or you know what I'm saying, you know, try to not like, you know, hurt the feelings. Still keep it 100, but try to do it in a way where it's easier for them to accept it. You know what I'm saying?
You know, when I was where I lived when I was growing up, you know, we had to take the bus to school, and it took us 35, 40 minutes to get to school, maybe an hour.
One way.
You know, because we had one day too. Thank you.
One way.
And we made those 100 stops going the way we're going. And one day I got in a fight on the bus with my cousin. And he got the best of me that day. I got off. We walked home together, got to his mother's house. She beat us both for fighting on the bus.
Yeah.
Then I get home. By the time I got home,
You got another ass.
I got another ass whipping because she beat me. She called and told my grandmother that we fighting on the bus. She beat me. So I got home and she beat me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But
Back then,
it was-
neighborhoods
but see, we can.
took care of you.
He took care of you.
You
took
couldn't
a
be
village.
out, yeah,
It took a
you
village.
couldn't be outside running around. My grandmother, I love her. I keep talking about her birthday is
Yeah.
Friday.
Cancer season. Cancer season.
If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be sitting right here right now. It's not no. Just my grandmother saved my life because she was hard on me.
Mm-hmm.
She instilled stuff in me. Your ass go to jail, you gonna stay there. They betting if police better not call my phone. Whatever you do, don't call him.
Yeah.
Don't call him. My grandmother beat me in front of the teachers.
Mm-hmm. I had a couple of low.
She'd have pulled me off the playground because she told me don't go nowhere, and I thought I was slick, and I snuck down to the playground because I lived with my grandmother, my great grandmother. You know, the great grandmother, you go in the house, they in the kitchen, they don't.
Yeah.
You can slip in and out. My grandmother came down. I ain't gonna never forget this. My grandmother came to the playground. Grandmother came to the playground. We down there hooping. What you doing? She
Oh, the airport.
pulled me off the playground, spanking me as we walking.
You ever had an airport?
Or a church bench. You ever had a church bench? You ever had a church
Yeah, I
bench?
had a church bench, but airport,
Man, that's a different kind of pain.
wiki.
Or they beating you in front of your friends.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely happened. My mom didn't play that at all.
Yeah, and see
Or
that
don't play
that instilled in me. I ain't about to play with this lady. I
Yeah.
ain't about to play with this lady. Even as I got older, I never cussed in front of her. It's like they instilled respect in you. They instilled respect in you. They demanded it. You can't disrespect nobody. Nah, you can't play that. You can't walk in nobody's house and not. Like I said back in the day, you can't do that. Like this, like your father. Your father ain't play about you. I can tell. I heard he was gone, rest his soul too. But I can tell your father ain't play about you. I can tell. And look at you now. Look at you now. This is my first time ever meeting you, Slim, but I can tell you a good man.
I appreciate that.
Because of what you got instilled in you from your father. And these guys right here, they seen you coming up, and they took time out to rear you and tell you, look, man, this ain't the way to go. And that's the problem now. If we could give it, it's the problem now. We respected. I would respect him if he was talking to me if I was 12 years old.
Right.
Yes, sir. You might not like what he was saying, but you would listen.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
They
Yeah.
would, you had to. You had to listen. You ain't had no choice. You talking to me, I got to sit here and listen to what you saying. If I don't, guess what might happen? I might get popped in the back of the head from my. So
Yeah.
it's just.
You know, I remember.
Now you go to the store. This is what I hate. Where you can see it obvious. You want to see what the race is? Go to a store on the first or anywhere around the line, and you see the kids fall out and then all of a sudden the parent will reach out and just start cussing the child like an adult.
Yeah.
He's 3 years old. He's a child.
Yeah.
Where you think he's gonna be at 4? He's gonna be a cusser.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I remember my grandmother cussing in front of
I mean, my dad did. That's
My
why
grandmother
I'm a little
cussed in
bit-
front
That's
of
why
me.
I'm a cusser, because my dad.
My grandmother cussing in front
My
of me.
dad.
But I also knew not to
He
repeat those
taught me
words.
that too, but it was some motherfuckers, and you know,
Stop fucking playing with me. But also, your dad could probably look. I can tell your dad probably could look at you and you get that shit right in order. Right?
Yes, sir.
You wouldn't even have to say nothing to you.
Yes, sir. Now here's the thing.
We in the store, like you said, they fall out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I would do that.
Nah, here's the thing. It depends on how effective you are, because you know how they say, well, you know, with white people and all that, when they or anybody that do timeouts will work.
Yeah.
Nah, it depends on how you do it.
Yeah,
So
you ain't never had a timeout standing in the corner with your leg up, with your hands in the air. You just let your parents do that.
It depends on how you do it.
Too, huh?
My grandma, I told you my grandma from the country, so she ain't played.
Depends how you do it. See, my dad, he would say box. Now the box was, it was a long period of time where he had a file cabinet in front of his bed, and he moved it, so it was like a square box. So anytime I was tripping, when I used to lose my mind over a video game or my football team winning or just tripping for no reason, you know, he said, "Cord, box," and I'm there, like so, box. Like we in the middle of the game, pause, somebody take over the controller because I got to go in the box with company and all that. Sit right there in that box, and whatever he watching, I'm watching. And that's how some of the movie things start happening in Miami Vice and you know what I'm saying?
I grew up
I'm
on
like,
that.
you know what I'm saying?
Like all that stuff. My grandfather made me
And
watch
that's
all
what
that
it
stuff.
is.
Like it's just,
Do a book report of what you just seen and what's the pros and cons of living that lifestyle. It depends on how you do it. Timeouts work.
the
It
150,
depends on how
the
you
200
do it.
times I would not.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
not.
Yeah,
I would not.
What?
That-
And you draw a line all the way down and
And
then
you
just
think
do
you-
this for the eyes.
Yeah. After you find out, like I've dealt with all that, and I ain't never been to jail.
Yeah.
I ain't never been, and I am planning on it. Like
Yeah.
it's just like the stuff was instilled in you, and like I said, our parents were trying to be our friends.
Man, and listen, I stand on that. Like, yeah, when I tell people, yeah, I ain't never been locked up. You ain't never been locked up. Yeah, I ain't never been locked up, and I don't plan on being locked up. That ain't nothing to be proud of, man.
I've been in the holding.
I ain't never been locked up.
I think
I've been in holding.
Yeah,
I mean, we've all had like
That's just-
suspension.
Guess what?
That's
That
just-
holding was bad enough for me. I
Oh, God,
I
yeah.
do this shit.
Oh, like in school suspension and all. Oh yeah, that was
I can't
yeah.
sit in here.
It was
and
terrible.
No phone, your shoes out there.
You want me to eat this brown bologna
You sitting there-
for how long?
When you sitting there holding it, it's people next to you that done really did some wild shit, and you sitting there with a suspended license, like, God damn.
Or you stole some headphones.
Or you stole something from 7-Eleven and got caught. That's another bad ass whipping I caught. Let me tell you something. Like, it's just stuff that we saw called the old school. I'm thankful for it. I'm
No,
thankful.
yeah.
As I got older, I look back at it and be like, damn, I ain't like it then,
It saved my life.
but it saved my life. Going to get my own switch.
Yeah.
All that.
Wow. I just had a flashback.
Don't
Don't break no little one.
In the back of League Commandment, they used to have,
And don't go.
God, the back of
You
League
hear all
Commandment.
Yeah.
You bring a little one in there.
God bless you,
You going back?
I know what y'all talking about, but my mom was more of a wire hanger type of woman. Yeah.
I take a wire hanger over a switch with vines on it.
A switch with vines.
With the vines.
These are marks.
The welt right there, and you couldn't. And you couldn't sit
grandma
down.
used to tear me in
My
the League
grandmother,
Commandment, boy.
my grandmother threw shoes at me, books, pots in the kitchen.
And then give me that church candy on the bottom of my pocketbook afterwards. The butterscotch with the strawberry
And guess
wrapping.
what?
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
They don't apologize if they whoop your ass. They just. You go in your room. You go in your room. You don't say nothing to them for a day or two. Then that second day you come home. They make you your favorite dinner. That was their way of apologizing to you. They would never apologize. Am I lying?
Right.
They would never apologize.
You're right.
You would come home to the
right,
best,
right.
they best fried chicken, and they were having it, and then the next day, hey, good morning. They knew. They would not talk to you after they beat your ass, because they always used to say, "You making me do this.
Yeah.
You making me do this. I'm only doing this because of your actions."
Yes.
They made you remember, okay, you know what? But maybe if I shut the hell up in school, my grandmother ain't gonna beat my ass for that. Or if I got caught skipping school by somebody in the neighborhood, instead of now where they wouldn't even say nothing, they would call, and then you think you sweet, you getting home, and then your grandma's sitting at home like, "How was your day?" It was cool.
Yeah.
Then why Miss Such and Such told me you wasn't in school?
That's a whipping that I got.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Ain't no sun in here. What you?
Huh?
Ain't no sun in
If you
here.
saying huh, you can hear what I'm saying. You can hear what I'm saying.
Look at me when you talk.
Yeah, all that falling out stuff. I never did none of that because my grandmother knew. I knew she gave me that look. Tighten up, champ. Tighten up. You ain't want to get popped. Tighten up. She gonna look. I see, and it's sad how parents just don't care sometimes.
Yeah.
Kids walking in front of them. Kids walking beside them.
Behind them.
Behind them.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's no way.
Crossing the street behind
It's
them. What is
no-
going on?
It's no way that my
crazy.
grandma would allow that. I knew if we went to the mall,
Yep.
Hey.
right there next to
I know I was so wicked. They had a little,
The leashes?
Yeah, I had a leash.
You had one of them?
I was a Billy.
I was just
No.
For a little while, it was like a long time.
I was just
I was bugged out. I ain't gonna hold you.
I was in Target the
out.
other day.
Ow!
This girl, her kids
You know what I'm
running
saying?
around.
Yeah,
She
I
in the
was
back in the
bugged out.
grocery park. Her 3 little kids. They had to been about 4 or 5. About 4 or 5. They at the front of the store picking up shit. She in the back. She just, mind you, they ain't been gone away from about 15 minutes. She didn't even know. Just walking around. She noticed. She said she's just yelling through the Target. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Nah, come on, man.
Because kids are raising kids now.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
you look
a
at
fact.
the age bracket between the parent, the grandparent, and the grandmother.
It's 32-year-old
And
grandmas
it's
out here.
frightening.
It's 32-year-old
It's
grandmas out here.
frightening.
It ain't no
It is
grandma.
scary.
And that was another thing she scared me. Don't get nobody pregnant. She told me I had to marry him. Excuse me?
My mom said I had to quit football. See,
If I
that's
get-
how she scared
If
me.
I
She
get,
was like-
my
she was
grandmother
like,
told me if I got
you got to
somebody
quit football
pregnant
play and get a job.
as a youngin', you gonna marry that girl.
Mm.
Huh?
Nah, she didn't even say all that. She said
Nah, my
you
girl,
gonna,
like, they
you
knew.
gonna have to
Mm.
quit football and get a job.
It wasn't
You
nothing.
gonna have to. I was like, I'm gonna have to do what?
That might be the reason
I'ma
I
have to
had
do
no kids.
what?
My grandmother
Exactly.
scared me not to, you know.
Oh, what?
I was scared.
I put a raincoat on, boy. I'm
Well,
telling you.
I got 3 boys. I raised 2 that, from previous, not treated
Yeah.
as they were mine.
Yeah.
And my youngest, I was 32, and my father's got like 15 kids, and it's from
Hey,
my father and mother.
My daddy got
2
10.
different family, and I'm the oldest.
I don't know him though.
I'm the oldest, and with that in mind, it's like when my brother come to find out that I was having a child. Now he already by this time had 3 or 4. I think I was one of the last one on my
Okay.
father's side to have kids. So he called me and said, "Lewis, I heard you having a child." I said, "Yeah, I'm having a child." He said, "So you're not sterile?"
Damn.
I said, "Wow." I said, "So." I got more. But at that time, I had to go on it. And I said, "Look," I said, "No, I'm not. But the one that I have, I'll be a father. I will not be paying child support. I won't be doing this. I won't be doing this. I won't be doing that. And I don't have to worry about." And then if you're going to have to pay a child, I never figure out how you pay child support. You're in jail, and they keep adding the child support up. You know what I mean? You get out there, you got a $100,000 bill, and now they take away your license, and want you to get a job. Crazy. You know how you do that? You be sterile until you are ready to produce and take care.
My mom definitely told me if I ever had no kids, I'm not coming back to that house. So it's like, look, I need me a place to stay. So
You know early's rough out here.
yeah, so I need me a place to stay.
Man, listen, we can sit here all day, have this conversation, but we gotta wrap this thing up.
I would love to hear some. I know they got some stuff.
Oh,
I got
yeah,
some
yeah.
information
My
for
man
you.
right here, like not for real, man. Like you gotta keep this up, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna come back again.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure,
All
for sure.
welcome back. That's why we did this.
Yeah.
We do this, you know what I'm saying, not just you know what I'm saying, the financial, but for people to really tune into somewhere where we having great conversation and giving people flowers that they deserve, and they can see, you know, and they can see black men having these conversations that we need to have.
Men.
Instead of men, period.
Yeah.
Have important conversations. Not these stereotypical ass meathead podcasts that talk about what women did and not talk about what we did and all that and alpha male this and alpha male no. How about we talk about some stuff that's gonna help our society, our people and society as a whole. Period. How about we get some substance in this podcast game, and that's what we do this for. We do this for everybody, so they can be good, so they can succeed. That's what we do this for.
Yeah, we ain't gossiping about what's hot and trendy out in Hollywood and what the celebrities got going on. Listen, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. They ain't my life. They ain't my role models. I don't care what they got going on. I'm on. They got problems. They got real life problems. They got more problems than we do.
More money, the more problems we see.
They meant it, bro.
Yeah.
More money, more problems.
Yeah. But anybody got anything else to say before we wrap this thing up? Final words, final thoughts.
And I just want to say like how grateful I'm really appreciative of like all you guys here. Like you guys have really shown me some things I've never heard before. It really taught me something today. So I just really want to say I appreciate that and thank you for having me on the show for sure. Like thank you, man. Just appreciate it so much.
Steve.
Yeah. Again, thank you for having me. What we talked about a lot of different things, and I really think that when you asked me to come on about bridging the gap between generations and all the societal problems we were talking about, it really starts to me with the family. As we were talking about different things, if you look at the whole synopsis of the summer, it starts with the family. And at the family, I know we don't like to say this now in this society, but it starts with the men. It starts with us.
It does.
So if our families are strong, then our communities are strong. And once the communities get strong, society gets better. You know, so it's like it's a ripple effect. You know, and we have to really, the brothers have to really step up.
Yes, sir.
I really feel that way.
Yes, sir.
And I'm glad to see this young man right here, you Cordell, you sir Troy. Your name is Troy, right? Yes, sir. And you also. And my sons, I talk to them. So it's like we have to impart, like Lewis was saying, impart into the next generation wherever we are. It doesn't even really matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter where we start at right now. What's the key? We got to start somewhere.
Yes, sir.
So I really love this concept, and I appreciate y'all having me.
I just want to give you this poem that I wrote. What do you see when you look at me? A strong black man, what I'm trying to be? Oh, no, that's what I ought to be. Sometimes it's hard being me. My great-grandmother said, once you're dead, you're done. She lived to be 98 years old. Think about all the victories she won. Always looking up, never looking down. Always had a smile, never a frown. That's why I know her feet was on holy ground. As a young boy, I used to see her pray more than noon and day. That's how I know the Lord would make a way. To know me is to love me. From up, from down, level, or beneath the ground. To know me is to love me. But the question, do you know him? The lily of the valley, bright morning star, the alpha, the omega, the beginning and the end. If you know him, then love him, because he first loved you. So as you listen to me, just pray for me. That's more than any man or woman could ever give me.
Yes.
I love when you say that, Paul.
On that note, we're gonna close out with no music. We're just gonna exit just like that. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Pleasure. I like ringing that bell.